In 120 AD, the Roman Empire invaded Britain. The 9th Legion was ordered to subdue the wild northern regions of the island. Strangely, 5,000 soldiers, along with the Roman eagle standard, mysteriously vanished. Faced with such a huge loss, Emperor Hadrian felt the failure deeply and ordered the construction of a wall along the empire's border to permanently separate the north. As a result, the family of the 9th Legion has been shamed as a result. 20 years later, Marcus, burdened with family shame, applied to be stationed at the empire's border fortress, hoping to uncover the truth and restore his family's honor. However, the Roman soldiers were not very welcoming to this commander with a tarnished background. Due to the previous commander's abrupt departure without a handover, the fortress had not received its food supplies. Marcus sent out a patrol to investigate. That night, Marcus was suddenly awakened by noises outside. He quickly dressed and went to the walls to check them out. The darkness made him uneasy, and his instincts told him the fortress would be attacked. He ordered his deputy to wake all the soldiers for battle, but after waiting a long time, nothing happened. The soldiers looked at him with disdain, thinking he was a coward. Just then, a group of barbarians launched a surprise attack on the fortress. They climbed the walls under the cover of night, attacking fiercely. In order to see the enemy's movements, Marcus decisively threw his torch outside the fort, igniting the hooked trench at the base of the wall below. The fire not only illuminated the enemy but also successfully divided them. The separated barbarians were easily slaughtered by the Romans. After a night of fierce fighting, the barbarians were defeated. This small victory established Marcus's prestige in the army. Suddenly, the defeated barbarians reappeared, and they had captured a group of Roman soldiers, the patrol Marcus had sent out earlier. The barbarians intended to execute them in front of the Romans. Marcus assembled a 50-man team to rescue the patrol. The Roman soldiers, clad in armor and holding shields, formed the classic Roman testudo formation, advancing orderly towards the barbarian camp. Though surrounded, the barbarians found it difficult to inflict significant damage. The testudo formation focused on strong defensive advancement, with opportunistic attacks. After a tough battle, they rescued the trapped soldiers. Some soldiers were saved, but Marcus found it difficult to retreat safely. At that moment, the sound of a horn echoed, and the barbarian chariots were deployed. The Romans quickly abandoned their formation and fled towards the fortress. But how could two-legged men outrun four-legged horses? At this rate, they would all perish here. Marcus picked up a spear and threw it, hitting the barbarian charioteer. As the chariot was destroyed, he was heavily crushed beneath it. When he awoke again, he was with his uncle. Despite receiving imperial commendation for the battle, he was informed that due to his injuries, he must retire early. This left Marcus silent. He had earned respect with his life but also ended his career. Yet he did not give up, diligently working on his recovery. To lift Marcus's spirits, his uncle took him to the arena. This was a popular entertainment throughout Rome. Marcus wasn't very interested but couldn't refuse his uncle's kindness. After some entertainment, the real life-and-death duel began. On one side was a helmeted, robust warrior, and his opponent was a small, frail slave. Everyone could see the unfairness. Suddenly, the small man threw down his sword and shield, and the armored warrior punched him. The small man got up but didn't fight back.
Look at that!
Allowing the armored warrior to beat him. For the final blow, the audience would decide the loser's fate. People raised their thumbs down, signaling death. More and more thumbs turned down, and almost the entire crowd chanted for death. Marcus suddenly stood up, raised his thumb, and shouted for life. The silent crowd heard Marcus's voice and also raised their thumbs, shouting for life. The call for life grew louder than for death. The armored warrior sheathed his sword. His uncle asked Marcus why he saved the young man, but Marcus didn't answer, leaving with assistance. The man's name was Esca, a Brigantes. Marcus's uncle arranged for Esca, whom Marcus saved in the arena, to become his slave. Initially, Marcus was unwilling. He didn't trust Esca, as it was his people who had fought against him, leading to his honorable discharge. Esca suddenly drew a dagger, approaching Marcus step by step, creating a tense scene. He swore by his father's dagger that although he despised everything Roman, his life was saved by Marcus, so he would serve him. The two established a master-servant relationship. As Marcus healed, he and Esca hunted wild boar together, slowly building trust. Soon, a physician came to treat Marcus's injury, needing to reopen the wound to remove metal fragments from his leg. Marcus underwent the procedure without anesthesia. After surgery, his leg healed quickly. One day, he learned from the 6th Legion's commander that the 9th Legion's eagle standard was enshrined in a northern barbarian tribe's temple. Despite his uncle's objections, Marcus took Esca, a former barbarian, to the northern frontier of Britain to find the eagle standard. They crossed the wall, venturing into the wildlands. Shortly after entering the north, they were attacked by barbarians. They watched each other's backs, fighting side by side, easily defeating the barbarians. At each tribe they passed, they inquired about the 9th Legion's whereabouts. Thus, they traveled and inquired, getting closer to where the 9th Legion disappeared. In a valley, they were attacked again. Together, they subdued the attacker, and Esca noticed marks on the man's jaw. These were likely from wearing a helmet long-term, but barbarians didn't wear helmets. Upon interrogation, they discovered the man was Gurn, a subordinate of Marcus's father. He took Marcus to where the 9th Legion was ambushed. The ground littered with bones testified to the battle's brutality. The 9th Legion had been ambushed by a coalition of barbarian tribes. The last time Gurn saw Marcus's father, he was surrounded by barbarians, his fate unknown. Esca's tribe had participated in the battle. Marcus suspects that his father's disappearance has something to do with Esca's tribe, and a heated argument ensues, culminating in a fight. But when they encountered barbarians, Esca claimed Marcus was his slave, saving his life. These barbarians were the Seal people. Esca was treated as an honored guest by the Seal tribe's prince. During a night festival, Marcus spotted the eagle standard. They sneaked into a cave to steal the eagle standard while the Seal people rested. Unfortunately, they alerted the tribe's leader. In the ensuing fight, Marcus noticed the leader wore his father's ring. His father had died at the leader's hands. Marcus killed the leader, avenging his father. With the eagle standard in hand, they quickly left. When the Seal prince discovered their escape, he led a pursuit. Though the Seal people couldn't ride horses, their running speed, endurance, and tracking skills were formidable. During the escape, Marcus's old wound flared up. He freed Esca from slavery, granting him freedom, and asked Esca to take the eagle standard back to Rome to prove his worth. For the first time, they shook hands, no longer master and slave, but friends. Esca told Marcus to wait for him, then disappeared into the rain. Marcus knew the Seal people would soon catch up. He broke branches and erected the eagle standard, a symbol of honor. At that moment, a group of shield-bearing veterans emerged from the mist. It was Esca. He had found and organized the 9th Legion survivors. Though they had once chosen to live in shame, they now stood to protect the eagle standard to the last. Covered in mud, the Seal people appeared. Marcus and the others formed a shield wall, ready for a final battle. The fight was imminent. During the battle, the Seal Prince knocked Esca down. As he prepared to deliver the fatal blow, Marcus intervened. The two engaged in a fierce struggle. Ultimately, Marcus drowned the Seal Prince in the river. The river washed over swords and shields, and the fallen veterans were laid in a row, shields placed over them. Marcus said to remember those who fought. They lit a fire, letting go of their obsessions. Marcus placed the wooden eagle standard his father gave him as a child into the fire. Esca placed his father's dagger in as well. The 9th Legion's eagle standard returned to Rome, and the Senate was overjoyed. They planned to reform the 9th Legion, offering Marcus command, as he had achieved the impossible by retrieving the eagle standard and restoring honor. They wondered how Marcus managed with just a slave. Marcus interrupted, "Esca is not a slave, he's a friend." With that, he turned and left. The film was made with great care, attention to detail, and beauty. Before venturing into the northern wilderness, the southern British landscapes were almost poetic. The barbarian scenes and costumes were particularly exquisite and fitting. If you like my videos, please like and follow. Thanks.